Hello, my friends, and welcome to Yoga by the Moon. My name is Michelle, and I'm here to guide you through a new moon practice for the new moon for June 14th of 2026. New moons are when the sky looks black where the moon is, right? Because everything is dark there, which means that we're open for possibilities and new fresh starts. The new moon itself is the start of the lunar cycle, so we have everything beginning for us, and we have this wide open possible future ahead of us. This new moon takes place in the sign of Gemini during Gemini season, and so Gemini is a curious, intellectual, social air sign, and air signs are very, very much about logical thinking and reasoning, and Gemini especially is almost ADHD brain with the ability to just process so many different thoughts and hold on to so many ideas and have all these hopes and dreams in terms of what they want to do for their lives and their future. And they not only have them as hopes and set them up here in their head, but they map out plans to bring these things to life. So with the energy of Gemini during the new moon, we get to maybe explore ideas that we've been putting on hold for whatever reason. Now's the time to take action into those thoughts and hopes and dreams that we've put on hold. We can learn new skills that we've been wanting to learn. We can connect with our communities and grow that social bond. Gemini likes to turn things on their head and give things a fresh perspective. And that can really be wonderful for a new fresh start, new ideas, and allowing us to kind of release stagnation of the way our life cycle has been going. Maybe we just have like this kind of redundant cycle that we go through on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Gemini kind of allows us to turn things on their head, give things a fresh perspective, and do things a little differently. Gemini also is very flexible and adaptable to change. So with the idea of all this newness coming into our lives, Gemini gives us the ability to be flexible and adapt and allow that newness to sort of weave its way into our life, instead of just kind of old life, new life. It allows it to kind of become a little bit more harmonious, kind of like the flow of air, right? As it were. So with all of this energy and the fact that it's a new moon, so everything is new and open for possibilities, the world really truly is our oyster with the new moon in Gemini. All we have to do is reach out. We have to just take that first step to work towards bringing that into our lives and really giving ourselves this hopeful, abundant, exciting new future. So to do our movement practice today, we're going to begin seated on our mats and find any comfortable seat, and I'll join you in a moment. I'm just going to sit cross-legged. That's how I'm always comfortable. But take a moment, arrive on your mat, feel your sit bones ground into the mat. Bring your shoulder blades back and down, lifting that chest nice and open. And our breath work today, we're going to place one hand on our heart and one on our belly, as long as that feels safe and good for you. And it's just simple diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing opens up our throat, which is our pathway for communication. A big skill for Gemini, a big element that Gemini rules over is our communication in our throat chakra. And so this type of breathing really opens that pathway for clearer communication. And it also allows us to use our air more efficiently. And Gemini is an air sign, so let's use that element as efficiently as possible. Right? So again, one hand on heart, one on belly. And we're going to just do 4 rounds together, and it's a simple deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe in, you're going to feel your belly rise. So inhale. Slow exhale through the nose or mouth, and just feel that belly fall. 3 more. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Your chest should stay still this whole time. Inhale deep. Deep exhale. Last breath in. Last breath out. Now bring your hands to the top of your knees. Open that chest, pull those shoulder blades back down again. Return to your normal breath. Arrive in this space. If your eyes were closed or you had a soft gaze, gently flutter them open now and arrive here with me as we begin our movement practice. We're going to inhale and raise our right arm to the sky as we stay seated. Exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee as you swim those left fingers behind you, propping them up like a little kickstand. And then turn over and look back behind that left shoulder in a gentle seated twist. Wringing out all that last bits of stagnation so that we can turn things on their head and begin anew. One more breath in here. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, raise your left arm to the sky. Exhale as you bring your left hand to your right knee. Swim that right hand behind you and look behind the right shoulder. Seated twist on the other side. Breathing deep. With every exhale, imagine that you're just wringing out those last drops of stagnation from your body, like you're wringing out a wet washcloth. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Come back to center. Now we're going to inhale deep and then tilt your head back just slightly. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, bringing your right arm up overhead to grab that at that left ear and pull your ear a little closer to your shoulder. Maybe you want to crawl those left fingers out to the side, getting a nice stretch on the left side of our necks, that home space of our communication throat chakra. Opening it up. One more breath in like this. Exhale, bring that left hand back in and bring your head back to center. Inhale deeply. Exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Bring that left arm up and over, grabbing at the right ear to pull your left ear closer to your left shoulder. And maybe you want to crawl that right hand out a little more on the mat to deepen the stretch on the side of the right side of your neck. Breathing deep, opening ourselves up to receive all of this newness. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your head back to center and crawl that left hand back in. We're going to stand up on our knees now. Kind of coming up like this. And if you're like me with this pose, you're going to want to kind of step up on your toes, kind of curl your toes under and bring your heels a little bit closer to the ceiling. Sorry, I almost started coughing there. I apologize. I've got allergies really badly with this season right now, so bear with me. So yes, you're gonna want to kind of come up on those toes while we're standing on our knees. We're gonna inhale deeply as we lift our chest towards the ceiling, and maybe you just want to clasp your hands behind you and pull those fists towards the mat as you look up towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to reach one hand down to your heel and then the other, opening that chest and that throat more in camel pose. We'll only stay here for a breath or two, just opening through that front body. One more breath in. Exhale, come back on up. If you were up on your toes, you can release that and kind of pitter-patter those feet a little bit. I know that tends to stretch my instep a little uncomfortably, and maybe it does for you too. Before we get too much farther into our movement practice, I realize I forgot to mention, you're going to want one or two blocks or books, something firm and solid, and a couple in like a foot or two in length, so that you can prop yourself up later. I happened to see that as I was about ready to explain the next pose, and I just wanted to give you a chance. If you need to grab a couple blocks or a couple books, you may do so as I explain our next pose. So we're going to stay on that right knee, and we're going to take our left leg and stretch it out straight out to the left side of our mat, creating this sort of triangle, isosceles triangle, if you remember your grade school geometry, with that left leg at an angle going down, that right knee going straight down. We're going to inhale deeply, keeping those shoulder blades back and down, and then exhale as you slide that left hand down that left leg. Maybe you stop at your thigh, maybe you stop just below the knee, maybe you reach down towards that ankle, and then reach that right arm up and over to the left in gate pose, opening up the side body a little bit more. Breathing deep. Maybe you want to look up to that ceiling to open the throat just a little bit more. One more breath in. Exhale, come back on up and bring that left knee under that left hip. Now, if you want to pitter-patter those feet again, you're welcome to. Reset. Take a deep breath. And then on an exhale, stretch that right leg out towards the side, planting that right foot on the mat. A soft bend in that right knee. It doesn't need to be locked out. We don't like to lock out our joints. But having it straight at an angle to the side with our left knee underneath our hip. We're going to take a deep breath in, shoulders back and down. Exhale as you slide that right hand down the right leg, reaching that left arm up and over to the right side. Gate pose on the other side. Stretching through that left side body deeper now. With every exhale, maybe you can inch a little bit further over. Maybe you want to turn that gaze up to the ceiling to open that throat a little bit more. One more breath in. On an exhale, come back on up to center. And then I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to keep our knees under our hips. And then we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders, flat back, neutral neck, tabletop position. We're going to take a deep breath in as we drop our belly to the floor and look to the ceiling. And then on an exhale, we're going to round through that spine, bringing it towards the ceiling as we look towards the mat. Cat and cow in your own breath, articulating through that spine. We've moved a lot from the side. We haven't really done this undulation this direction yet. And we carry a lot of tension in that back. So we can release through that right now. Let yourself feel good. One more wherever you are. And then we will all meet in a neutral tabletop position. We're going to walk our hands just a little bit forward. Curl those toes. Inhale deep. And then on an exhale, lift those hips towards the ceiling. Downward facing dog. Maybe you want to pedal your heels a little bit, stretching through the backs of those legs. Maybe you just want to find some stillness. Wherever you are, do your best to reach those heels towards the mat, but if they do not touch at all, there is no worries whatsoever. Take a breath here in downward dog. Then inhale, raise that right leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring that right foot between your hands. Drop down onto that left knee. Rise on up. And kind of keep a 90-degree angle in that right knee for now as you raise your arms to the sky in low lunge. So we're going to inhale as we reach our fingers towards the ceiling. Exhale, cactus those arms and sink into that knee and hip. 3 more times like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull down, open that heart and throat. Hold here for 1 breath. And then as you're ready, bring your left hand down into the left side of your right foot. Turn towards the right wall, raising your right arm to the sky in a low lunge twist. Wringing out that stagnation once again. As you're ready, we're going to curl those left toes under, lifting off that left knee in a high lunge twist. And then we're going to rise on up, arms up into a high lunge. This is a very hopeful, forward moving posture. So we're looking to kind of move into that new beginning and that fresh start with hope and energy. 1 more breath in like this. On an exhale, bring your hands to either side of your right foot. Right foot meets the left in high plank. Shift forward. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Press on up to upward facing dog. Lift those hips high. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring that left foot between your hands. Dropping down onto that right knee. Rise on up. Arms high in low lunge. We're kind of imitating that high lunge here, still with that forward momentum, that hope for all of the future that we're about to endeavor on here in low lunge. Reaching up with energy. Inhale up. Exhale as you cactus those arms, opening that heart and throat for communication with Gemini. Inhale, reach on up. Exhale, sink down, open that heart, cactus arms. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus, and hold that open heart and that open throat so we can go into the future with good communication of Gemini and an open heart. 1 more breath like this. Exhale as you bring that right arm to the right side of your left foot, opening your left arm to the ceiling and turning to the left side wall. Low lunge twist. Bringing out the stagnation so we can endeavor into that future with hope. Curl those right toes under. Lift that right knee off the floor in a high lunge twist now. And then as you're ready, come off that floor, raise those arms up to the sky in high lunge. We're going to propel ourselves forward here into the newness of the new moon with that energy and hope and excitement that is Gemini. Opening our hearts and throats, the throat chakra that Gemini rules. One more breath in here. Exhale, frame that foot. Bring the left foot to meet the right in high plank. Shift your weight forward. Bend at the elbows, chaturanga. Press on up to upward facing dog. Lift those hips. Downward facing dog. Take a breath to reset. And then inhale that right leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring the right foot between your hands. Now you might want to shorten your stance here. And we're going to turn our left heel towards the back right corner of the mat, planting the sole of that left foot on the mat with our right foot forward, bending slightly into that right knee. A shorter stance version of Warrior One, raising our arms towards the sky as we turn our hips towards the front. You'll see in a moment why I asked you to shorten your stance. But we're going to keep doing all these hopeful forward momentum postures where we have this moving forward with energy and hope into this newness to come. You'll see that cycle repeating itself a few times in this practice, because this really is a hopeful time. One more breath in here in Warrior One. And then on an exhale, if you have those blocks nearby, you might want them. Put one on either side of your right foot as you straighten through that right knee. Plant your hands on the blocks next to your foot. Don't lock out that right knee, but forward fold over the right leg, keeping those hips facing forward. Stretching through the back of your right leg right now. Finding some release here. Kind of surrendering to the newness that the universe wishes to bring to us. Breathing deep. And when you're ready, we're going to take our right hand in the right block and we're going to bring it a little bit in front of our right foot. We're going to step that left foot in a little bit more as we turn our hips towards the left wall, raising our left hand. Keep that right hand planted on that block in front of you, and then as you're ready, use that balance to lift the left leg off the mat, facing that left wall in half moon pose. Turning things on their side, changing perspectives with Gemini. One more breath in. Exhale, bring that left foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands and step back to plank. Shift your weight forward. Bend the elbows. Press on up. Lift those hips. Pedal the heels just for a moment. Reset. Then inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring the left foot between the hands. Shorten your stance. Turn that right heel towards the back left corner of the mat, planting the sole of the foot. And then bending into the left knee. You won't be bending super deeply into the left knee with this shorter stance, but we're still going to emulate Warrior One here, keeping those hips square to the front of the mat as we raise our arms to the sky. Turning things on their head just a little bit, changing things from what you expect, adapting to that change with the energy of Gemini. Reaching up with hope and energy. One more breath in here. On an exhale, bring those blocks to frame your left foot. Straighten through that left leg as you keep those hips facing forward. Bow down over that left leg. Pyramid pose. Surrendering to all of the gifts coming to us from the universe. all of the newness promised by the new moon. Allowing ourselves a moment of pause and gratitude. One more breath in here. And then as you're ready, we're going to bring that left block in our left hand about 1.5 feet in front of our left foot. We're going to turn our hips towards the right side wall now. I don't know what happened there. If you fall, your yoga mat will catch you. Don't worry, just like I just did. But turn your hips towards that right side wall, raising your right arm to the sky. And then as you're ready, lean into that left hand on that block and lift your right leg to the sky. Half moon pose. Turning things on their head, giving things a fresh perspective with Gemini, embracing challenge and change. One more breath in here. On an exhale, bring your right foot to meet your left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up overhead, clasping them in prayer above your head. And as you exhale, bring those hands through heart center. Anjali Mudra, prayer hands at your heart. Whatever spiritual practices you do or do not believe in, bringing your hands together at your heart connects you to your heart space, allows yourself to feel your love and allows your love to flow out as well. Take a moment connecting to that. As you're ready, if your eyes were closed, flutter them open. Bring your hands behind your back, clasping them together, making a sort of fist. And then when you're ready, pull that fist towards the floor, bringing those shoulder blades together, opening through that heart space, that chest. Inhale, opening, lifting our neck, opening through that heart and throat chakra. Exhale, slowly bow forward, forward fold, keeping your hands as they are, opening through those shoulders now. Finding some release and surrender. You may want a soft bend in those knees so that you can really bring your chest towards your thighs, resting your chest on your thighs even, so you can open those shoulders even more. One more breath in here. Exhale, bring your hands down, release them, plant them on the mat. Step your right foot back, followed by your left. High plank. Inhale deep and exhale as you slowly lower all the way to the mat. I'm going to move those blocks just a little bit so you can see and hear me a little better. We're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Inhale deep as you press your chest and head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Cobra. Exhale. Bring those hips to heels, surrendering in child's pose. We're going to flow through Cobra to child's pose 4 more times. Inhale, press on forward to upward to Cobra. Exhale, hips to heels. Surrender. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, child's. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, child's. Last one. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, child's pose. stay here for a moment in child's pose, giving yourself some well-earned rest. One more breath here. And then as you're ready, we're going to come back on up to hands and knees position. Inhale, right leg comes parallel to our spine. Exhale, bring that right shin forward, bringing the right knee out to the right side of the mat, left foot towards the left side of the mat, and pulling back on that left hip flexor here in pigeon pose. Now, a lot of yogis will tell you to try to get your shin parallel to the front of your mat, but as you can see, mine gets nowhere close. That's just not how my hips open up. So you do what feels comfortable and right for you. And if you wish to stay up, propping your arms up here in high pigeon and kind of getting a little bit more of a stretch in that lower back, you may. Or maybe you wish to come down on your elbows or rest your head on the floor in sleeping pigeon. Gently opening up through that right hip. Surrendering, releasing, making space for all the newness that is arriving. With every exhale, think of something you can let go of to create space for all of this promise that we have here with this new moon. With every inhale, imagine the opportunities that you're looking to take hold of. One more breath here. If you were down on your elbows, come back on up to your hands, planting your hands on the mat, and then gently sliding your right knee back to meet the left. Inhale, your left leg parallel to your spine. Exhale, left knee comes out to the left side of the mat as your left foot comes to the right side of the mat. Crawl back on that right hip flexor. Pigeon pose, opening through that left hip now. Now you may wish to stay up on your hands in proud pigeon. Gives you a nice little release in that lower back, and you can open that throat to open the communication chakra that Gemini rules over. Give us that excitement for social connection. Allow our thoughts to be articulated clearly. Or maybe you wish to surrender and bow down to receive the newness from the universe in sleeping pigeon. Wherever you are, take a few breaths, releasing, creating space, opening ourselves up to all the possibilities. One more breath in. On an exhale, if you were in sleeping pigeon, press yourself on up, and this time kind of sit back onto that hip and turn towards the side, bringing your right and left soles of your feet together in front of you, creating a diamond shape with your legs. Now you may wish to have your heels very close. You may wish to have them far, somewhere in the middle, wherever feels comfortable for you in butterfly pose. But you're going to take your hands and grab the top of your ankles and inhale as you open your chest, pulling your chest through. feeling that release in your inner thighs, right in here. You should feel a nice stretch here in butterfly pose. One more breath here as we sit up. And then keeping your feet as they are, we're going to exhale and bring our hands towards the mat, towards the floor as we bring our chest towards the floor. Folding in butterfly pose now. You should feel a deeper stretch in those inner thighs. So if you need to move your ankles a little or your heels a little further away from your body, please do so. I like to say find your edge and meet it or back off of it, but there is no need to go hard or go home here. My mantra, my motto is always to find ease. We have so much chaos and noise outside of this space in the world. I do not wish to bring that to you. I wish to bring you peace. I wish to bring you openness. A loving, welcoming, safe space for you. One more breath in here. As you exhale, come on up. You may wish to keep your feet in butterfly pose, or maybe you wish to cross your legs and find a comfortable seat. Wherever you are, find your version of a seated Shavasana today. We're going to take a seated pose for our final resting pose as I guide you through the meditation for this practice today. If it feels safe and right for you, you may close your eyes or have a soft gaze. But arrive in your space now, tuning inward. You don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to think about anything. Just listen to my voice and be in your body, in yourself, checking in with your heart. This is the Gemini meditation. The breath between the words. Begin by making yourself comfortable, seated comfortably, possibly closing your eyes if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Again, inhale, out the mouth. Let your body soften. Let your mind begin to settle. Gemini is the wind that moves between things, the spark of connection, the flutter of thought, the whisper of possibility. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhale, exhale. Notice how it moves like the wind, sometimes steady, sometimes playful, always changing. Gemini invites us to explore, to ask questions, to follow curiosity like a bird catching the breeze. What ideas are fluttering at the edge of your awareness right now? What wants to be known? Imagine standing in an open field under a wide blue sky. The air is fresh and full of life. Light moves through the trees above. There is a feeling of possibility, of stories waiting to unfold. You begin to walk, light-footed like the wind itself. As you move, you listen to your thoughts, your inner voice, the soft hum of the world around you. Nothing is fixed here. Everything is in motion. In this space, you are free to learn, free to express, free to change your mind. You are not here to have all the answers. You are here to stay open, alert, engaged. Bring your awareness to your throat. Place a hand there if it feels comfortable and safe to do so. Gemini rules this space, your voice, your truth. With breath, with words, you shape the world. Repeat softly to yourself or in your heart, I am open to new ideas. I trust my curiosity. I speak my truth with clarity and light. I am free to grow and change. Feel that mantra like a breeze moving through your mind, your chest, your throat. You are not stuck. You are not one thing. You are a traveler, a communicator, a weaver of words and ideas. Let your breath carry you now, back to your body, back to this moment. As you're ready, wiggle your fingers or toes and gently bring some movement back into your body. Bring some awareness to the space that you are in. You are the wind. You are the voice. You are the question and the answer. Seal that in your heart by bringing both hands to your heart space. And then, as you're ready, if your eyes had a soft gaze or were closed, flutter them open and arrive back here in this space with me. Thank you so much for practicing this new moon in Gemini phase with me and the Yoga by the Moon community. I look forward to doing the first quarter moon with you next week. But in the meantime, I'm always humbled to have you join me in this small little corner of the internet. And from my heart to yours, namaste.